What do I think of Carlton? I actually quite like them, to be totally honest.
It's absolutely embarrassing that we have to share the main stage with them, to be honest with you.
Like, this is obviously a big game, but I feel like if I had to have a second team, it'd probably be Carlton. All my best mates go for the Blues.
St Kilda are the most boring team of all time.
I've liked a lot of their players. Obviously I want to win this and smash them, but...
I know we've had a bad start, but it's St Kilda. I have to watch this game. I have to keep my eyes open, but...
It's like every other week, I'm actually rooting for them pretty heavily.
If it wasn't Carlton playing against them and they were in their usual graveyard slot, I'd take both my fists and I'd punch myself in the eyes. It won't be close. It's everyone, it'll be a close game. Better watch out for St Kilda. No, it won't. They suck. They stink.
All right, back. A game of football was on last night and actually got a game of football. So for Fremantle, thank you so much. Thank you so much for looking like a football team, playing like a football team for most of the game. Were some questions over how you take the ball inside 50, which we'll get through. But apart from that, pretty good by them.
I think you've got to take what you can sometimes, don't you?
We can't be angry. They tried their best.
No.
They tried their best to play football. Last week was a disaster. We know that against your mob.
Yep.
But came this week, last night, and looked like a football team.
They looked a lot better.
Which is good for prime time. And we know all eyes of the football world were on this game, on Freo, on Collingwood. Will Freo respond? Are they going to stink it up after being on the main stage last week?
Yep.
Can Collingwood somehow go over there, resting a bunch of their old blokes, somehow get a win, 5-day turnaround? Can they do it? And somehow they do it. Just wild that they won this game. They shouldn't have won this. In the laws of football and the maths, and when all the media people, and not even the media, but the analysts and statistic people say, when you lose inside 50s by 29, when you have 34 inside 50s and the other team has 63, you should lose that game of football. That's how football works. And they said, no, we're not going to lose this. We're not going to get absolutely pants in every category that you can think of. You get pantsed in contested football. We get pantsed in stoppages, clearances, inside 50s. But when we do have the ball, we'll cut you up. And they did that last night.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
So wild to me that this was a game, a game that they just didn't care about. They were okay to lose that one.
Penciled it in before this season even started. So you know what? When we go to Freo, we know we're not going to win it. But I tell you what we'll do. The old blokes who are old as shit, we'll get some freshness into them. So the week after, we're back to our best. So didn't want to win this game. So now, even when they're not trying to win games of football, they're still winning games of football.
Yep.
And this is as much as them being great as it is Freo being really bad. 63 inside 50s. 20 more than Collingwood. So they took a mark inside 50 every 10 entries. Collingwood took a mark every 2 entries.
Yeah, if you just told me that, Freo won.
Yeah.
If I knew nothing about the game, Freo won.
Yeah. That's where the game is right there,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen. Poor Freo fans, because last week it was we can't get the ball, and this week it was no, we've got too much of the ball.
Yeah.
So now, we're allergic to marking it inside the 50. We're great outside the 50, got a lot of the ball, a lot of play, but every time we boot it in there, we can't mark the thing.
So now it feels like maybe next week, if you bring a little bit of last night and a little bit of the week before, put them together, Dan.
You might get a win.
You might get a win.
Yeah, you're on different sides of the scale now.
Yeah.
Really bad, but really good and bad still. So you've got to meet in the middle somewhere there. It was just wild. Like, surely after, I don't know, maybe the first 50 inside 50s that you have.
Sure.
Someone there, maybe a player or the forward coach, whoever the forward coach is for Freo, goes, you know what, boys? Love that we're getting the ball. How about we stop booting the shit out of it inside 50? How about we stop lacing out Collingwood defenders? Collingwood defenders were sitting there, uncontested marks, going, this is the easiest defending we've ever done in our life. They're lacing us out. Billy Frampton turned into the best forward of all time. It was the opposite end. Like, it was just, he was taking so many easy marks. It was just wild. And even their ball movement as well. We know that Justin said that we're a boring vanilla team. Going to own it. We're a boring team. We just are. When they get the ball, it's like they literally play not hot potato, cold potato. How long can I hold the football until I pass it to a teammate?
Cold potato.
They're playing cold potato with the football.
Yeah.
Justin says, hey, boys, let's play hot potato. Let's get this thing moving. They take so long with ball in hand to even get the ball moving into any type of game plan. I don't know what they're doing in the game plan, but the game plan must be, let's just try and hold the ball for as long as we can before we do anything with it.
Is there any other game plan you can visibly see?
At the moment, not really.
No.
Cold potato, and then when we're out of options, let's boot it inside 50. It's honestly, I'm seeing so many, and so much resemblance and similarities to a Carlton team.
Yeah.
It's actually scary. I feel for Freo fans because I think I know what they're going through. Mm-hmm. There's so much talent out there. You've gone all out this season trying to win a flag. You brought in Bolton. You got so many stars. The midfield's amazing.
Yeah.
And then you have these games where you go, how is this even possible for us to stink it up this badly with the list that we've got? Classic Carlton move.
And they've still got over 50,000 people going to the games as well.
Crazy. Perth fans,
hurts.
they turn up to games.
Yeah.
Turn up. So, again, we said, well done to Freo. You're not supposed to stick this into the season, but somehow you are doing it, which is impressive. So, they're on massive fraud watch. I haven't put them on there. They're on huge. Actually, they're off the board. What am I talking about? They're out of contention. We should rub them off the board of being able to play finals. The next watch for them is Justin Longmuir being on full support of the board watch. We need a new board because he'll be on full. Justin has full support of the board watch. That's where they're at.
I'm looking at it now and I go, geez, Perth is just not the place you want to be right now. As
Perth
a footy
football
fan,
is not where it's at.
Nah.
You got to get out of town. Both your teams are just having absolute mares. I wouldn't even know who's having the worst time right now. Freo fans, the expectations of their team, or West Coast fans having no expectations but still being frustrated because they can't win. Who'd you rather be?
I think in my head, any team that has to have a crisis meeting within the first 7 weeks, probably not a great sign. But then, you've got that here, and then I'll match that up with coaches on a 2-week contract.
Yeah, his contract could change. Also, we kicked 7 points and a half of football.
Yeah, so then there's that. We recruited really heavily.
Supposed to be the year.
And if it doesn't work out in the next 2 years, then we could be in West Coast's position.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know who I'd rather be in that town.
I guess you would like to think, at least if you're West Coast, you would like to imagine the next 3 years it should be different.
You'd think so. I think if I'm in that town and I have to go for one of those teams, I'd rather go for a team at the moment that has no expectations or hope.
I agree.
Because it's only up from there. If
Exactly
I'm a West Coast
right.
fan, I'm going every week, hey, it can't get much worse.
Yep.
Going into the game, it's not going to get worse.
No.
It might be bad. It might be really bad, but it's not. I've been there before.
Yes.
For Freo fans, they're going into games going, no, we can win. We should win. We should beat Collingwood when they rest 5 of their stars, 5-day turnaround. Don't even want to win this game. We should at home. And then going there, getting your merch on, lining up, singing the song for the game, and being like, oh, there's 2 hours of my life I'll never get back, and I'm sad.
That is a daunting feeling for them, knowing that it's all down from here.
Yeah.
There's downs that they haven't seen yet.
They're at
scary.
They're at Everest.
Yep.
Of the down, looking more down. Going,
Yes.
oh, fuck, there's more bad stuff down there. That's not good. Well, West Coast, look it up. They were good for a quarter, and then it just fell away. It's like they forgot how to play football for 3 quarters.
Yeah, correct.
So Justin Longmuir, is he the guy? Watch full support of the board. Watch this week for sure.
Yeah.
Going to be in the news everywhere over there. But well done to Collingwood. This hurts me to say, but I love acknowledging good football when I see it, and good footballers when I see it, and they're an absolute wagon.
They really are.
They really are. They're the real deal. I don't think a team has ever been more poised or positioned to win a flag this year than Collingwood. Got their travel out the way now. That's probably the big bulk of the travel, that one trip to Perth. They rested their players, didn't want to win it, and now they have 12 home games and then 2 trips interstate for the rest of the season.
It really shows you the depth of them as well. Coxie back into the side. Some of these guys, we haven't seen run out for a little while.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're up for a granny.
They're a plug-and-play team.
Yeah.
So pull out a player, plug in a new one, still play the game plan.
Yeah.
And then Craig McRae changed the whole game plan for this game. So I don't know if anyone really noticed this, but they weren't doing their run and gun fly. They've been real flashy football because they've been able to do that with their stars. For this game, they're like, okay, well, maybe we have to absorb some of the heat coming our way with Freo.
Yep.
We'll just plug all our numbers back. And when we do get the ball, we'll be real methodical going forward. And that's why they were so great going inside 50.
Yeah.
Because they just played a patient game plan that was just so efficient.
Some of their kicks were incredible, like kicking sort of a metre out from the boundary. I'm just going, I trust my kick.
And off the back of Nick Daicos having 18.
Yeah.
Who was on him? Wagner. Wagner was in his hole.
That's a win.
Just had his hand up him. Was like, where do you want to?
Yeah.
Like, it was just elbow deep in him going, come with me to the pocket here. Like, he had him by the scruff of the neck, inside his neck.
Literally.
Yeah, it was
The scruff of
inside
the
him.
inside of the neck.
Inside him. So they were
Jeez.
really, really good. Craig McRae is a mastermind. He's the best coach in football. He's got the best culture. He's got the best team.
Yeah.
And it's just no wonder those two things are going hand in hand at the moment.
Correct.
They're doing some things, and I don't like them. I was a massive hate watch for me last night. It was a long hate watch. I set myself up, got prepared, had my pizza, had a few beers, and like, hey, let's do a 2-hour hate watch.
Yep.
And it didn't go to plan. But after that, I respected how good this team is.
A late night hate watch as well.
Like 8-10 games.
Yeah.
New rule. Actually, for both teams, we do it for Fremantle, for both Perth teams. Don't go on prime time anymore.
No.
It should be, especially for Freo at the moment, it should be illegal for them to be in prime time. I don't think they have another one going forward, and there are the floating fixtures in the back end. Get them off.
There's
No, there's not.
There's a really bad one.
Which one?
Fremantle, Essendon in the next couple of weeks.
Man,
Let me just double check
that
that.
better not be.
I'm telling you.
That's the worst. Okay, well, I don't want to watch that.
How bad's that?
That's horrible. The fact that that's even been scheduled in the AFL, that's the worst ever. That's just, they know what they're doing now. They're trying to annoy us. Even when they do play well in prime time, it still annoys us. They can't win.
Exactly right. Okay, stay with me.
Okay.
Essendon Friday. It definitely is.
You sure you didn't dream it? It wasn't a bad dream, was it?
It could have been a bad dream. Could have been a bad dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
19th of June, Thursday night, 8:10, Fremantle versus Essendon.
Oh, great. Well, I'm going for a long walk and hopefully someone ducks me.
Yep.
That's what I'm doing. 8:10. At 7:55, I'm going for a long walk down the darkest alley I can find in the streets of Melbourne. Hopefully get shivved
Yeah.
in the eyeballs. Hey, I know you want to shiv in my kidney, but have you thought about shivving me in both eyes?
Before you do it,
Yeah, before you take my eyes
Yeah.
or my life, just take my eyeballs first.
have we thought about this?
There we go. Well done to the Pies. Jamie
Yep.
kicking 6.
Yes.
It just pops up. Kicked 6 goals. That was huge. And then did you see the Schultz getting knocked out?
Yeah.
Can't believe they didn't start the play for that.
Yeah.
Darcy Moore said about the game in post-match. It's like, absolute joke. No one
Welcome to
stopped
the
game.
jungle, I guess.
Horrible. I didn't like that where he was doing the full fencing
Yeah.
position. Whenever you see arms going straight up, I think it's actually called fencing.
Okay.
For like 10 seconds, it's not good.
No.
And then he got up and he tried to like run off the ground and face plant a couple of times. It wasn't great.
Yeah,
I
that
hated
was
seeing
awful.
That. Yeah, not good.
He had
So-
some good moments too, especially early on. That assist he did was a bit of a mongrel kick, but like had some moments.
Tell you what,
He's
Schultz
coming
is
good.
back.
Yeah.
I think Pies fans are doing a hate watch just for Schultz.
Yeah.
Late last year and maybe early this year. Now they're all about him.
Yeah.
He's an important plug in that team.
Absolutely.
He was so good. So they're amazing. They're going to continue to be amazing. As we said, they're a new and improved version of what they were last year, and it's scary for the league because they're just so poised to go all the way this year. Top 4 spot, definitely in the cards now.
Yeah.
2 home finals, home grand final.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like I said last night, forget about state of origin, WA versus Vic versus SA, whoever it might be. Australia versus Collingwood has to be the new watch. Like with this cannot happen.
And you know that just before we move on from any team out west, you know they're in a bad spot where the Premier announces they're going to get an NRL team. Just to
Distract everyone.
them
Yeah.
totally.
Distract him. One of Perth NRL team, wonder how that's going to go.
Yeah, I don't know.
To Perth people, leave a comment or message. Do you even know what NRL is?
I mean, I've my one friend in Perth. He's a big rugby guy.
Yeah,
So,
well, they call the Bears.
sure, why not?
I'm pretty sure they
I
were
don't
called the
know.
Bears. I think I saw it come across my table yesterday. Perth Bears.
I mean, I don't mind it. I think, to be fair, if Tassie had an NRL team, I'd be more inclined to watch it.
Adelaide
But
had
it
one
just-
ages ago, the Rams.
Did they really?
Yeah, Adelaide Rams.
How did that go?
Not great, not existent anymore, so not great.
Did they play out in like Hindmarsh?
I couldn't tell. I used to have Adelaide Rams merch. It'd be worth a fair bit these days.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, the Rams is a cool name for it.
That is cool.
Bring that back. But yeah, grim days in Perth
Yeah.
last night for Freo fans. So hopefully it can get better. I don't know if it does.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't look like it's going to, but just long meals and all sorts. This
Long
week.
weekend
Let's
ahead.
see. I tell you who's probably not going as bad as Freo at the moment. Roseby Turak.
Oh, no.
Now, they might be the worst team in the history of football ever. Read these results. This is their start of the season. The season started 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
This is how they started. Round 1, Turners Beach, 272 to Roseby Turak 0. Round 2, Sprayton, 261 to Roseby Turak 7. Last round, Sheffield, 431 beat Roseby Turak 0. A guy kicked 21 goals last week for Sheffield and got third best on ground. Aaron McNabb, his name was. And then Alex DeProsi kicked 16 goals for him. Didn't even make the best players. So to start the season, this poor team has had 160 goals kicked on them, and they've only kicked 1. Now, dumb me thought that Turak was down the road. Yeah. I was like, how is this possible? They're near the CBD. Like, there should be some good players that come.
That's a bit of a location.
So me saying to the boys here, hey, like, we've got to put the boots on for them. It'd be so easy. They're literally like 3 Ks away.
Yeah. And
then everyone's saying, hey, they're actually 4 hours out of Launceston or Hobart.
And I'm going, I would love to do that.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Glad you're on board. Yeah. Didn't realise they were in Tassie.
Yes.
Until I did a bit of digging and researching. So we've got to do something about it. I went on their Facebook page. It looks like they've got, and maybe it's because of these scorelines, well, definitely has something to do with it, 14 players playing for them. Okay. Do you know much about this town?
Don't know enough about where they are, but I know all of those, like the opposition. So it is the West Coast. So it's like, without
makes sense. West Coast football.
Well, without knowing,
nothing good comes out of the West.
Nothing good comes out of the West. From what I'm aware, at least, so like the West Coast of Tassie is really small population wise because it's a lot of that forestry, like really dense forest.
Yeah.
So Sprayton, apple country. So if you
I knew that.
Sprayton apples, you know.
Most delicious juicy apples in Australia. Sprayton apples.
Thank you for absolutely. Yeah. Sheffield, one of my favourite little towns. It's actually really nice. Best Chinese restaurant you'll ever go to.
That's such a row thing to be known for in Sprayton, Tasmania.
Well, Sheffield, Tasmania, my friend.
Okay.
They've got like the paddock out the back, so it's real farm to table. It's great.
Great.
But there's not a lot of people there. So wherever Roseby Turak are situated,
it might be a town of 20 people.
Yeah, because if I know Sprayton and Sheffield, but I know that they're only 100.
Could be a tiny town we're dealing with.
They're struggling.
So we've got to do something about this.
Yeah.
We can't let this happen. Like, they're the definition of just, yes, battlers, but just effort and dedication to what they're doing. To rock up every week knowing minimum we're getting done by 200 points. Yes, we've got 6, 7, 8 less players in our team and still roll out. Mad respect for that.
Yeah.
I love that. So I've got a conversation, a phone call with their president today. The boots are getting the dust off them. We might be debuting for them to save this club. And I'm not talking just me. You said you do the pre-game MC.
Yeah, I'll do the MC. I'll obviously play forward pocket for them.
Yeah. So you in a forward pocket.
But I'll definitely do the pre-game MC.
I think I'd definitely plug myself into the ruck middle.
Yes.
And just because I'm 6'7", I can't imagine someone being 6'7" down there if there is. It's an absolute joke. I'll be investigating the league if there is. I'm saying that's absolute. You can't be doing that. So I'll go play myself in the middle. I'll have 50 out of the middle. We'll get a few more recruits. I've got a few ex-AFL players who are keen to go down there. So we do it.
I would love this, mate, honestly.
And we give back to the club and the league.
Yes.
So we'll take some footies down there, some boots for them, get around them, put on a president's lunch for them or a night for them. Give back to this great community that's just battling.
That's awesome, mate.
So we're going to do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and we'll charge them only like $25,000. No, all for free. All for free to give back to local football.
I love
this is not
that.
on.
No. And it's been a bit of a turbulent time in the landscape of Aussie rules in Tassie. Like, there's been a bit of a shift with... I've lost touch with a little bit. I was doing a radio show last year that I got kicked off on. So I knew a little bit
more.
Boys. The Water Boys. Knew a little bit more about it last year.
Yeah.
But they've changed the format of the TSL completely. So now it's like pretty secular, I guess.
Okay.
Like, just, so I think we save it for sure.
For sure.
Mum's got a property down in Derby way as well, so we can
we'll pop in. We'll do a full full experience down there, play a game. Obviously, we'll vlog it for everyone to see what we do there. But I think it's a real feel good. Let's go make this club great again.
Yeah.
Because no one deserves to be getting done by 431-0. It was 196-0 at half time. There was no need to play the second half. And Sheffield said, you know what, you boys get the fuck back out there. We've got some beating to do. That's not good. So let's watch this space.
And the good news is as well, we won't be too far away from the gravel ground in Queenstown. And I'd love to show you that.
The worst ground potentially in Australia.
Now, we won't play that game.
That'd be horrible.
If they do have to play Queenstown.
No, that's bad. That's bad. Tassie football's going through, like you said, now the team as well, the Tassie team, their licence. Apparently the licence was a condition of them building a stadium. And now the stadium's in state parliament and there's two parties who are like, absolutely not. No way. And which would be probably the biggest PR muck up of all time to announce a team colours.
Yeah.
Rummenham. Is that his name?
Rumman
is out there. They've got Rumman.
We've got a CEO.
A CEO, got recruiters now.
Yeah, recruiters, director
to now
of
be
football.
like, actually, we can't do this. We can't build a stadium. It's not getting improved. So that's where it's at. By 2028, they were supposed to have a stadium.
No, 2028 start the first year.
Wouldn't you want your stadium for your first year?
Yeah, but no, as Vicky Pollard
every
would
team's
say.
had their stadium.
I think it takes longer, essentially, than 3 years to build it, though.
Definitely does. I think they've gone to the government or the league and said, hey, we can knock this up We can knock this up pretty quick. There's a couple, it's a glass roof, it'll be fine.
It's a whole
it'll be
thing.
fine, yeah.
There's not much at Macquarie Point. We'll just flatten it.
It's a $1 billion build.
Yeah.
So then you get this approved materials, labour in 2.5 years.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think that the idea was always that they were going to start at least in 2028 and then maybe 2 years into their licence, they would have the stadium. And they'd spread between Lonnie and Hobart.
Well, they're getting everything else sorted. They've generally got recruiters. Went and poached a couple of Collingwood recruiters.
Yep.
Scotty Clayton, who drafted me, is now there as well.
Oh.
You should not have got him.
Oh, no.
No. Oh, I'm case study A of why maybe he shouldn't be down there.
Oh, no.
Now they've got $1 million check as well. And everyone's saying they should spend that $1 million on Nick Daicos, just one hit.
Or the stadium.
Or the stadium.
Let's get it done.
But they're saying that bonus check they have because they have the $1 million bonus they can pay as sign-ons to players.
Yeah.
Instead of splitting up like 500, 500 or 250, 250, 250, 250, they're saying just give it to Nick Daicos.
Checks out to me. The maths is there.
Could you imagine that if Nick Daicos is down there for like $3 million?
I could imagine that.
Gary Ablett did it.
Mate, he'd be the king of that town.
He would be the king. He'd never leave though.
No.
That's not enough money for him.
No.
No way. For Nick
What's
Daicos,
his next contract worth then?
probably the highest paid in the league.
Yeah.
If Zach Butters is being offered the highest paid, which is like or say TDK, it's easy, 1.7 a year.
Yeah.
Then Nick's 2.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So saying nah. And he won't do that. There's no way he does. So say Tassie's in all sorts as well in football, but we're gonna go save it. So watch your space. Let's just touch on this finally because it's done, and I'm so glad it's over. But the AFL took a whole week, but finally did it. They finally ended up butchering the whole Willie Rioli situation. So as we know, Bailey Dale's situation, they had a little scuffle on field. He texted Bailey Dale's teammate and said he better fucking watch his back when he leaves the hotel room in Darwin this week. Teammate said, that's a bit weird. That was the news. AFL said nothing to see here. The club's sorting out. And then the media came out with 2 more stories of him telling an Essendon player, not sure who it was, and I don't want to say it because Nick Rewalt definitely saw us, but he said something like, you better be careful. My family's in town. I know where you live. You live in Essendon. And the Essendon player was like, well, that's just not right. Like, I play for them, yes. But I just don't live in Essendon.
Don't live
like
at the
absolutely
airport.
not. No. And then they went back to another incident in Geelong last year where he said something to Guthrie along the lines of probably the same thing, like watch your back in the car park, you're not leaving the stadium safe or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there was the big vision of it. You saw Jeremy Cameron's like, what the fuck did you just say? So that all came out. And we're thinking, okay, after 3 threats in 3 games, yes, you have backed out a couple, but 3 threats over 3 games, sure the AFL will come out and do something. Nothing. Willie Rioli came out first and said, you know what, it's been a big week for me. I'm going to drop myself the showdown. I want no part of it. Thank God he dropped himself because the Crows boys would have torn absolute shreds off him.
Being able to get in his head.
It
pretty
really
easily.
would have given every single player fared in that stadium, the poor mascot, a threat. So you better fucking watch your back. If you turn your back, you're fucked. So he's out of that game. And then the statement from Willie said, with all the stress from this week, I feel it's best for me and the team that I take a break. I say things from time to time on the footy field in the heat of the moment that I wish I didn't, and I'm continuing to work with the club on managing this moving forward. Okay, then the AFL released a statement saying that they're not going to suspend him beyond this week because pretty much he's just suspended himself. The league is being run by a bunch of dum-dums. And I hate to say this, but it's got to be idiots all the way up. Mm-hmm. And it is in every business. There's idiots here. Look at me.
There's a couple
I'm
of
the biggest dum-dum on the top of the DDF community. But the league continues to show us that they are the best at just mucking up any sort of like situation or issue that comes on field and off field. So how Andrew Dillon and Laura Kane sat there with their other execs in the suits and said, you know what? Great, Willie's done a job for us. How have they done that? And if I'm Willie's team, I'm fucking fuming at the league for taking so long to come up with this.
Yeah.
and to like make us or Port make a suspension or a comment and remove Willie from the situation and making Willie do their job for him. I'd be ropeable.
Having said that, though, the self-suspension, not a bad little tactic.
Or it just opens a loophole, like you and I said now upstairs.
Yeah.
So if Baz does a third finger,
Yep.
flips the crowd again for the third time, and he's had a $1,000 fine, a $2,000 fine, the next step we'd think would be a week suspension.
Probably.
So if Baz says after that game, you know what, I'm not coping well with all the media noise, I've given the finger again, I want a week off. And the AFL says, oh, well, he's already done that now. And there's precedence now with the Willie situation. So he has a week off, no suspension, and then Baz wins a Brownlow medal.
That's fine.
So that's a loophole now. No, I'm still eligible because what I did was I removed myself so they couldn't suspend me, so it's all good. Yeah, got ya.
It's a bit of an Uno reverse card situation
100%
there.
it is. The league just takes, like, they're finding amazing new levels of, like, shithousery to muck up every situation. So suspensions, fixture scheduling, security, off-field issues. This year, we've had a player be suspended for 3 weeks for a chase down tackle, which we think's legal in the game. Think legal. We've had 2 people walk into the ground with guns on them. We've had a player who pled guilty to assault, and they said you can play a game before your court hearing in 3 days. And now we've opened up a loophole where a player can self-suspend themselves if they think they're going to get a week.
It's been an interesting 9 weeks, hasn't it?
And then they have the decency, the league comes out and send a league memo to all teams saying, hey, we're actually really angry at all you guys for leaking stuff to the media. How dare you? It makes us look really bad. No, you look bad because you are bad. Like, we say this every time the AFL does something that pisses us fans off.
Yeah.
Just listen. Stop sticking your head in the sand and go and talk to people about situations on the street, footy fans, communities. Jump on fucking Reddit.
Yeah.
And get a feel for the room and the temperature.
A fair amount of honesty flying about those places.
But people are like, I've got a common ground of, we agree on the same thing here, that this situation and any situation that happened this year, they're misreading completely over 9 weeks. It's almost like when the AFL goes, you know what, Andrew Dillon, whatever your time is that comes up, we understand that, but let's go and find someone who just gets football. I don't care about statistics, numbers, business degrees, anything like that. Let's go find a guy or woman on the street who sits in the pub in the front bar every week, talks football and gets football.
With the amount of people that work there as well, I mean, this is obviously a slight oversimplification of it, but you do think, really, if you think about it, you just get a proper fan in there and then someone else behind them being like, can you just make that happen? Because I don't know financially how we do this. Like, I don't know that end. But this is what we want.
Yeah.
Now you just, push some pencils and make it happen.
We need the equivalent of whatever Ted Lasso is coaching in the league house.
Yes.
So get a Ted Lasso to be like, hey, so I don't know how to legally do this, but I'm thinking with like the Willie situation, maybe it's like 3 weeks, like one for each one. Like I think maybe 3 weeks would be a good one. What do you think? Can you make that happen?
So you need a vibes person.
Yeah.
And then a realist.
I don't know. And I'm trying to be positive about the league and how they run things, but there's certain situations that keep happening that keep frustrating football fans.
Yeah.
Pricing, making it easier for families to get to games, scheduling. We've got 7 rounds that don't have a locked-in date. So there's just, I don't know. I want to stop because I guarantee we'll get a call from the AFL's lawyers, and I cannot deal with getting another call from a lawyer this week. I've gone 1 whole week without getting sued or threatened. Well done to me.
That's awesome.
1 whole week without getting a call from someone's lawyer. Well done. Well done, me. I did hear, though, once we wrap this up, let's wrap it up now, the rumours are that after the phone call they had with Willie about, hey, like, you can't do that, we're going to suspend you, do it yourself. Apparently after that phone call, Willie threatened all the AFL execs not to leave their hotel rooms. Their next away
That's
trip.
quite a threat.
He said, you better not leave your fucking hotel room.
Yeah.
But if he did, I would have loved for his, how we have like the craziest outs now with the Bolter, his out is curfew. Bolter out, brackets curfew. Willis could be Rioli out messaging.
Yeah, texting.
Brackets texting.
Yeah, texting.
That'd be so fucking funny. So funny. So also the Suns got involved in this in like a third weird party way they should have got involved in. So when all this is unfolding, and probably not the time to tweet this, I would have thought, even though it had nothing to do with it. So the Suns, while all the suspensions are getting handed down, Willie's suspending himself, the AFL is doing nothing, but they're making a statement. The Suns tweet out, as the Suns head to the Northern Territory capital this week for a 2-game stay against the Western Bulldogs and Hawthorn, Daniel Rioli will be on a private family mission. Now, given all that's happening, that tweet there kind of sounded like Daniel's on a mission to break Bailey Dale's kneecaps. And the story was just about him playing his second game in Darwin because the first one he played was during the COVID season and they're not counting that. So the family mission is him passing Cyril playing games up there.
Yeah.
So kind of a bizarre, and then they deleted the tweet because like, I think someone said, hey, it kind of does sound like, Daniel's going up there to find Bailey Dale. Like we should maybe remove this.
And then from a genuinely more even serious front, there's a term, a family mission in Indigenous history is something completely different.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's just like, oh, no.
I thought Daniel's staying up there to do like a 2-week like mission up there with his community or something like that.
Well, there's that, but then also the actual term was used from the removal of children from Indigenous families. Don't use that.
No, don't. So whoever did that at the Suns had absolute mare.
Yeah, it's just incorrect on all fronts.
Absolute mare. So just like the worst timing. The Suns media, man, they got hacked. Now this tweet. Bring back the hacker for the Suns. Remember?
That was a really fun time, wasn't it?
That was so fun. No, I want that hacker to come back. What are they doing? The hacker.
Just like
Auntie Soda. Auntie makes soda.
Just that really nice feeling where you go on their page and they're back.
Yeah.
And then you go on an hour later and then there's another car being dipped in paint. Yeah. And you're like, this is good.
And then me messaging the social team, be like, hey, I would love to jump on and talk about it. Like, it's pretty funny. And then just say, no thanks.
No thanks. Not today.
I would, but actually a third how to dip your car in paint video has hit our socials. So I don't really want to. No, thank you so much. This game, which I actually want to play now because I've seen it so much and the AFL have done a great job not marketing it, but putting it very much at the forefront down people's throats.
Okay.
AFL 26.
Yes.
It's out. Ratings have come out for the game. So who have you seen the ratings?
Who
would you assume is the best player in the game?
Probably Daicos.
No, Paddy Cripps.
Cripper?
94.
Really?
Daicos second, 93.
Okay.
Tom Green, 92.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, a Rocket Man. Smartest guy we know, Rocket Surgeon. Marcus Bontempelli.
Yeah.
Guy I'd take a bullet for. And Caleb Sarong are all 92.
Sarong?
Yeah.
This feels generous, but yeah.
Yeah, true. A couple other ones here that caught people's eyes. Ginnivan's 87. Bobby Hill's 81.
Ooh.
Yeah. Why does Bobby Hill get so much like... He's underrated massively.
That's a bit of disrespect. Actually, I think I saw him say that.
He said that.
A bit of disrespect there.
And then there was another one who was disrespected. Max Holmes' speed was like not top 10. And he was like, okay, well
that's just incorrect.
Disrespectful. I love how the league's trying to do like the Madden ratings.
Yeah.
I feel like the teams and they try to do that with the socials, like guess your rating. I kind of like that. But I think the game itself is like arse. Again. Will Ashcroft's 81. Our boy Bailey Smith's 79.
What?
Bailey
That doesn't make
Banfield.
any sense.
Bailey Banfield for Freo is 87.
Hang on. Okay. So him and Ginnivan are 87.
Yep.
And Baz is 79.
And so Bailey Banfield is rated the same as Sam Darcy at 87. And Harley Reid's 82. So I saw some of the gameplay from the game. The graphics looked a little bit better.
Yep.
I mean, Max Gawn looks a little bit like he's like a jail version of Max Gawn who's come out and is ready to beat the shit out of someone.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think Max has a face that translates to the gaming world.
It's hard.
Like, I get that.
It's hard. So I've seen the gameplay, and it does very much look like all these games, which I kind of rated back in 2004, where if you have the ball at full back, you have to torp it to the middle and then take a contested mark on someone or a huge hanger.
Yes.
And then it's another 3 contested marks until you kick a goal and
Yes.
take a set shot. That's what it looks like to me. I'll get it for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I'm definitely going to buy it.
I feel like from what I've seen, at least the career mode looks a lot better. So, like, that's like the kind of easy back end programming wise, but like it looks like you can have a good little career there.
And you can do your knee.
Yeah.
Which I've been yelling for. Because that's the whole experience. If you make a player who's like drafted, projected to be really good, and then for me, if I make Daniel Gorringe on there, I definitely want to blow out an Achilles.
Yeah, totally.
For sure, miss a season.
Yeah.
That'd be good. So
that would be good.
We'll get the game. Maybe we'll play it.
No, I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I think that
complicated.
The game's the hardest one to create. Like it's never going to be like a Madden or a FIFA. Like it's just impossible to create because no one can lead. Like if you got the ball at the back pocket, you can't lead out to the wing and take a mark. Like they all just run like Oz kick.
Yeah.
Like bees to a honey pot.
It is a bit like that.
It's generally just contested marks the whole way through. Mm-hmm. So what on AFL 26? I'm sure there'll be no bugs in that as well, which will be good.
So that'll be fine.
Yeah, we spoke about Tassie already. Big game tonight, my friend.
Yes.
Spud's game. We did Spud's ride yesterday.
We did. How did you think that went?
Well, when you were riding at the front, it was a bit shaky.
No, I couldn't reach the pedals.
How do you think you went?
At the back, really well.
Yeah, we weren't pedaling for a lot of it.
Yeah.
You was going for a ride. I was just riding you around the G for like 25 laps.
I was surprised that sort of 15 minutes in, I thought we were about 45 minutes in.
Yeah.
So like an hour I wouldn't say it flew by.
I mean, it's a lot. You see a lot of the same sites,
Yeah.
for sure. But we're glad to be involved. Obviously, they've got the great Spuds game Guernsey.
Yes.
Now, every name on this is someone that has contributed to Spuds game.
That's correct.
Correct. Our names are actually very generous of Saints. I don't know if they've planned this,
Yeah, but
but we're very close to the middle.
Well, I did see on AFL 360 they were talking about being on it.
Yeah.
And the screenshot went, oh, there we are.
Yeah, we're on this. So Danny Spud Fuller is obviously in the middle, and we are a couple of rows off him,
Yeah.
which is huge. We're above Nick Rebolt, which is good. But big game.
Huge.
Obviously, huge game for Spuds. Remembering Spud and his legacy.
Yep.
And also a big game for mental health, as I said on Wednesdays.
Wednesday, yep.
Just a great day and a moment just to reflect on how you're going, how your friends are going, be a friend, tell a friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I think tonight's going to be a great moment before the bounce happens where people, hopefully, they just listen to is it Gaz doing the stuff pre-game?
I would assume so.
Someone, because they do the circle in the middle of the ground.
Yeah.
I think when that happens, please do your best to put your phone down and just take that in.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good moment to just be really present, be where your feet are,
Mm-hmm.
and check in with yourself. So you've got a big role to play tonight.
I'm looking
Back at the
forward to
Loud
it.
House.
Back at the Loud House. Second time in my career.
Wow, first time at Loud House, nervous as hell.
Did spew.
So now you're back.
So now I'm back.
How are you feeling? How are your
Oh,
vibes?
a lot better. Got my mum coming over,
Big.
which is big.
Big.
No, I'm genuinely so psyched for this.
Yeah.
The first Spuds game was amazing, but I didn't really take it in.
No.
Just personally, the lights were bright.
They'll be bright as well for Saints tonight.
Yeah, but tonight it's business time.
So it is Spud's game, and I get that Saints are going to wind themselves up for it.
Yep.
But I just couldn't be more confident the closer we get to it that the Blues just absolutely go to town on them.
It's so funny. We could genuinely just take. Oh, what would be really good actually? You know, the people that lose their voice and they've got a machine that just presses just common phrases. Like you say that every week, and
Couldn't be more
they
confident.
give you so many reasons for you not to be confident.
There's no way that the Saints roll into the Loud House, our house. I know it's your home game, it's a big game, but there's no way you decide, you know what, we like the MCG now.
We also decided we wanted to play you for Spud's game. So just
Did you actually?
Yeah. So really sink.
That's
Just let that sink in.
That's shit as you by you guys.
That we went.
You want to cherry pick us off?
Yeah, we thought, well, they're a big Melbourne team, so it'll help for
bring the
attendance.
crowd.
That'll be really cool.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we'll definitely we're a
That's
chance.
That's so cocky by you guys to pick us off like that. Yeah, we're gonna wipe the floor with you guys. Genuinely, I cannot wait. This is a game where everything clicks. And I know the game plan is for the Blues because I spoke to a few people inside the four walls. The game plan is literally just Vossi says, boys, close your eyes. Let's just say a few words. Cripper, please have the game of your life. Walshy, have the game of your life. Harry, have the game of your life. Charlie, have the game of your life. Wiedering, have the game of your life. All right, boys, go out there and do your thing.
You know what the scary thing is? If they do, we're stuffed.
All sorts. Yeah. And they drop Doc again. Friend of the program. Hey, Vossi, stop playing him on a half-forward flank or a wing. He's a half-backer. Maybe play him where he was an All-Australian.
One would have thought.
Dumb. I tell you what, if we lose this game, I'm getting the biggest can of spray paint and I'm going to Northcote, Preston, Brunswick, and I'm just spraying sack Voss everywhere.
Yeah.
Just tagging heaps of stuff. If we lose this game, it's season over.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Can't wait.
And we've still got Ross the Boss, Voss the Boss on the line.
Tap bet on it. Yep, for sure. So anxiety for everyone going
Yeah.
tonight. Can't wait.
Hey, and congratulations to the new Pope as well. The coverage was unreal.
Huge. I don't know if anyone saw this. The coverage of the Pope is out of this world.
Yep.
Does look like it's the NFL, AFL draft setup. So
I reckon better.
You brought this to my attention. They pretty much got Pope statistics, age, where they're from, country, strengths, how many things they've done.
How many languages,
3
charities.
dot points. It looks like the Pope. It's like a Pope draft.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe the coverage of it.
It is. Neither can I.
I asked Sportsbet if I could bet on it. When I was like, hey, can I bet on this stuff?
It was one of the more entertaining things I've ever seen.
It's unbelievable. If you haven't seen it, go onto TikTok and just put in Pope. You'll see the coverage of it. It's generally they've run it through ESPN NFL draft night.
So I think it was a 3-4 day conclave where all the Cardinals get together. But then specifically the NFL draft where you see all the fans waiting for the commissioner to come out and announce the pick.
Yeah.
It looked like that.
Yeah. We need it. We need them to do like a 40-yard like sprint, vertical test, vertical leap test.
How many Hail Marys can you do in a minute?
We need that. Like, an open training session, like how far can they throw the ball?
Yeah.
That kind of testing is what we need. But I think they did it. I saw just then we saw it.
Yeah.
The black smoke turned to white smoke, and that's how they know
smoke.
they've made the decision.
Pope Leo, the Roman numerals. Don't really know.
Good pick.
Yeah, really good.
His form's been good.
His form has been good, but I would say very interesting to go for, he's an American guy. So, look, I was sort of looking to that sort of mainland Europe role for this one. So, it's bold to
Scouting
be looking
team
outside.
must be good from the Pope's team.
Yeah, they've got international scouts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And, going to Chicago has obviously
Seen him,
paid dividends, really.
Seen him during a poping game during this
A poping.
during a poping. So we're on to them. All right. Big game, big weekend. I'm
Good
gonna
luck,
go.
mate.
I'm gonna go. Just prepare myself. I'm gonna go just in a room and just get myself ready for tonight. So you should probably prepare for Loudhouse.
Yeah, I'm doing my vocal warm up soon. So
Do anything for TDK? Any little jabs? Because TDK, not resume game, but it's probably signature game.
It's not far off.
Are you gonna jab him?
I probably won't jab. Oh, there is room for a jab.
Okay, well, mate,
so when I
think you
do my
should.
intro, I don't. I just put the notes down. Let's talk about last week. Talk about what I've seen, and then maybe I'll just get in his head a bit. Go, yeah, he did drop a few balls before.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Get around him.
Oh.
When he comes out, make sure you make him feel welcome. He's coming to our house next year.
Imagine if I did just
You
add
should.
it in.
You should. Now he's not on the team list, but he will be next year. Get a round of applause to Tom O'Connor.
Yeah, that's
Carlton.
That's a good idea, actually. Okay. Yeah.
If you get one at the end, say, no, that's the team, like whoever's last, Jack Steele.
Yeah.
At the end, go, and give it up for number 12, Tom O'Connor. He plays for Carlton. He's coming to us next year.
Or if we win, I do get to interview a player. Maybe I'll interview him
Do
instead.
it. Yeah. I think you should. Yeah. I think you should. All right. Go forth. Enjoy your weekend. See you on Monday.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.